Hello everyone, welcome to the English YouTuber. In today's video, we shall be discussing all the possible questions from Macbeth Act 4 Scene 2. Are you ready? Let's begin. Okay, the first question. Where is Lady Macduff and Ross having a conversation? A. In Macbeth's castle. B. In an unknown place. C. In Macduff's castle in Fife, or D. In a palace in Scone? So the answer is pretty evident. It is in Macduff's castle in Fife. Okay. The second question. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors. What does Lady Macduff mean by this statement? A. Macduff seems mad and is crazy. B. Him fleeing away makes him seem like a traitor. C. Macduff has not done anything treasonous. Or D. Out of fear, we commit treasonous crimes. So, what does Lady Macduff try to tell here? So she's trying to say that Macduff has not done anything treasonous, but because of his fear, when he fled away, it makes him seem like he's a traitor. So that is what she's trying to tell here. Next, what reason does Ross give to Lady Macduff for Macduff to flee? A. He might have done it out of wisdom. B. He might have done it to take revenge from Macbeth. C. He might have done it out of fear. D. He might have a reason we are unaware of. So, the answer is A and C. So, if you remember, Ross says, you know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear. Okay. Next one. What reasons did Lady Macduff give to show that it was not wisdom and that it was fear that made Macduff flee? So this is an important question. So I have written it in bullet points. So the first point, what does she say? She says that he has left behind his wife, his children, his castle, and his title behind in a place that he has fled from. So it is not wisdom. And she says he does not love them and he lacks the natural instinct to protect his family. She says that even the most diminutive of birds, which is wren, will fight against the owl when the owl threatens her young ones in the nest. But what has Macduff done? He has abandoned his wife and children and gone away. So, he does not love them. And the fourth point is, so his decision to flee is motivated by fear and not out of love. And it is so unreasonable for him to run away. So, she's saying that there is no reason for him to run away and leave everything behind. So it has nothing to do with wisdom also. So that is why she's saying it is not wisdom but fear that has made him flee. Going to the next one. Which among these does Ross not mention about Macduff? A. He is wise and noble. B. He best knows the fit of season. C. He is wise and judicious. Or D. He believed a frightening rumor and saved himself. So you have to see which among these is not mentioned by Ross about Macduff. And the answer is option D. That is not mentioned because Ross says, but for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fit of the season. Okay, next one. What is the symbolic meaning of the owl and wren which is mentioned in Lady Macduff's speech? A. The owl represents wisdom and the wren shows vulnerability. B. The owl represents an evil entity and the wren shows defensive instinct when threatened. C. The owl represents Macbeth and the wren represents Macduff. D. Both the owl and wren shows family, loyalty and love. Okay, so here does the owl represent wisdom? No. Here does the wren represent Macduff? Definitely not, because the wren will protect its young ones when there is a threat. But here Macduff has fled, so it is not this. It does not show family, loyalty and love because the owl does not signify that. So the answer is B, where the owl is the evil entity and the wren is showing defensive instinct when threatened by some evil entity. Okay. Ross mentions the fit of the season to Lady Macduff. What is he trying to mention here? A. Scotland is ruled by a just and apt king. B. Scotland seems peaceful, but there is fear of war and injustice. C. Scotland is facing uncertainty and political unrest. Or D. Scotland is now like a violent storm. So the answer is Scotland is facing uncertainty and political unrest. And what is he saying? That Macduff knows about the political unrest and uncertainty that is happening. The next question. When we are traitors, we do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. What does Ross mean by this statement? So, this is an important question. So, what does he say? During cruel times, people get denounced as traitors and they don't even know the reason for it. That is why we say when we are traitors, we do not even know ourselves. So, when people get denounced as traitors, they don't even know the reason for it. In such times, we start to believe frightening rumors. So, from what we fear, yet we know not what we fear. So, we start to believe frightening rumors and we don't even know what we are afraid of. It's like being tossed around in the wild ocean storm in every direction and finally we get nowhere. So that is what he's trying to say, that in cruel times people are called as traitors. They don't even know the reason of why they are called traitors and people start to believe rumors and that we are not even aware of what we are afraid of. It's like being tossed around in the ocean and finally we don't even go anywhere. We are just stuck there. Next, what words did Ross tell to pacify Lady Macduff before he left? A. Things that are worst will eventually cease. B. Things will improve to how it was before. C. This too shall pass. Or D. Have faith in your husband, he's a wise man. So just before leaving, what did Ross tell Lady Macduff? That is option A and B. If you remember, he says, things at the worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. Next one. Why does Ross say, I am so much a fool, should I stay longer? A. Because he feels the murderers will come here soon. B. Because Lady Macduff's husband isn't there and it is inappropriate. C. Because he will disgrace himself by crying. Or D. Because he will cause her discomfort and embarrassment by his emotions. So the answer is, he says that if I stay any longer, I will disgrace myself by crying, and that will cause you embarrassment and discomfort. So I will be a fool if I stay longer. So when does he get emotional? When Lady Macduff tells her son that he's fathered and yet he is fatherless. So after that, Ross says that it is time for me to leave. I should not stay here any longer. When Lady Macduff tells her son that his father is dead, how does he respond? A. He doesn't believe her and answers with wit. B. He calls his mother a liar. C. He asks his mother to remarry. Or D. He calls her a traitor and tells her that liars should be hanged. So the answer is option A. He does not believe her and he answers with wit. He says, no, when she asks, how will you live? He says, just like how birds do. I will live with what I get and just like how birds live on. And if you remember, he also says that if he was dead, you would weep for him. And if you are not weeping, then it is a good sign because I will quickly get a new father. So he's using his wit and he does not believe her when she says that his father is dead. Lady Macduff's son calls liars and swearers to be fools. Why? When Lady Macduff says that honest men should hang the liars and people who swear, the son says that the liars and swearers are foolish because there are enough of them to overpower the honest people, because he's saying that there are very few honest people left in this world and all of the people are liars and traitors. And hence all of them can overpower the honest people and hang them up. Therefore, he calls them to be fools. What warning does the messenger give? A. Macduff is joining hands with the King of England to fight a war against Macbeth. B. Something dangerous is coming towards you. C. I am blunt, but what is approaching you will do more harm. Or D. Go away from here with your little ones. So the answer is option B, C and D. He mentions all of this. What does he say? I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To fright you like this, you might think that I am too savage. To do worse to you were fell cruelty. Means the cruelty that is already so close to you will do more harm to you. So he says, heavens preserve you, and he leaves. Next, whither should I fly? I have done no harm. What does the statement symbolize from the scene and how it unfolds? A. If you are innocent, then no harm can befall over you. B. Harmful actions are justified in certain circumstances. C. She is innocent and naive. Or D. Innocence does not protect oneself from harm in this evil world. So she says, no, why should I run away? Where do I even run away? I have not done any harm. But as the scene unfolds, what does it symbolize? that innocence does not protect oneself from harm in this evil world. That is why they were killed. Next, what does Lady Macbeth mention about the ways of the earthly world? A. To do harm is often laudable. B. To do evil is the only way to survive in the present world. C. To do good is considered foolish and dangerous. Or D. One has to hide and run away if they are not traitors. So the answer is option B and C. If you remember in the passage, what does she say? To do harm is often laudable, means praised, and to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. So it is considered to be foolish and dangerous. Okay, next. When the first murderer asked Lady Macbeth where her husband was, what does she reply? A. He is in a place no one can ever find him. B. I hope he is not anywhere so disgraceful that you all might find him. C. She said she would not disclose even if she knew. Or D. She said she has no clue and she is happy that he is safe somewhere. So the answer is option B. She says that I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him. Next. What does the murder of the son and attack on Lady Macbeth signify in the play? A. That fate cannot be changed. B. It is a warning to Macbeth about his actions. C. It shows that Lady Macbeth should have paid attention to the messenger's warning. Or D. It shows Macbeth's increasing cruelty and brutality. So what does the murder of the son and attack on Lady Macbeth try to show in this entire play? So it's trying to show that Macbeth is increasingly becoming cruel and brutal. And yes, we have completed all the questions. So wasn't it fun to solve all these questions together? So until we meet next time with new set of questions, take good care of your health, keep smiling, all the very best.